Rasheshwari Radha Rani Temple. Srimad Satguru Sarkar ki.
Is Ashe here? Ashe?
Radhe Radhe. If everybody could please turn off their mobile phones, and if you have small kids that can't sit through the lecture, then we can have it broadcasted here in the sitting room. So just kindly pay attention closely to Didi Ji and give her the proper silence, okay? Radhe Radhe.
श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की, लाडली लाल की, प्यारी प्यारी अम्मा की। दिवाकरी प्रपन्नाहम् गुरु पादारविन्दयोः तस्य प्रेरणया तस्य दिव्यादेशं वदाम्यहम्। मन्नाथः श्रीजगन्नाथो मद्गुरुः श्रीजगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा कृपालु गुरवे नमः। कृपालु गुरवे नमः। कृपालु गुरवे नमः। बर्हापीडं नटवरवपुः कर्णयोः कर्णिकारं बिभ्रद्वासः कनककपिशं वैजयन्तीं चमालां रंध्रान् वेणो राधर सुधया पूरयन् गोपवृन्दैर् वृन्दारण्यं स्वपदरमणं प्राविशद्गीतकीर्तिः यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वंहदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये. Respected devotees of Sri Maharaj Ji and respected viewers, Radhe Radhe. Let's chant for a few minutes. गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधारमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधारमण हरि गोविंद जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधारमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधारमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधारमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधारमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधारमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय Please clap. हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधारमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय 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 राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय। बोलिए लाडली लाल की जय। spiritually inclined souls. In the Radha Govind Geet, Sri Maharaj Ji has revealed a divine doha, a couplet. Anand paane ki Govind Radhe जीव में नित्य आकांक्षा बता दे. So this doha, it depicts a fundamental philosophy, knowledge of God realization. In fact, it is the first step to the knowledge that we acquire in our journey to the divine. So the simple meaning of this doha is every individual soul, from a tiny ant all the way to Brahma, every individual, through every endeavor, through every act, no matter what we do, as individuals, we aspire for happiness, anand. And this aspiration, this desire for happiness is nitya. It is eternal. It is eternal. Yes. That's what Sri Maharaj Ji tells us. So, we must understand what true happiness in fact is. So Sri Maharaj Ji gives us a perspective by stating a few examples that I'm going to share with you just now. So every new year, every anniversary, every birthday, we express our joy to the person concerned or the celebration or the occasion celebrated rather. We say, Happy New Year, happy anniversary, happy birthday. But have any of us stopped to consider what true happiness is? We express our joy and can be heard praising the person or the occasion to all and sundry, but has anyone ever wondered where that happiness vanished the following moment, the following day, the following week, the following month and year? In fact, it is the experience of all of us that whatever we consider happiness in the world, it only depletes, it only diminishes with the passage of time. Standing at the altar in front of friends and family, the newlyweds, they pledge their undivided loyalty toward one another. I will die for you, proclaims one. Through health and sickness, I will always be by your side, says the other. But what is the reality? What is the reality? Within a blink of an eye, friction begins to develop. And then it leads to tension, friction, And consequently, it could even lead to divorce, and in some cases, even death. So where did that love go? What happened to that love? A mother, a worldly mother, yearning for her only child to return home from school. When she sees her child, he runs and jumps into her arms. So what does the mother do? She gives him a big embrace, hugs the child, her tender child, with closed eyes, and she feels so much joy and happiness. But what happens the moment that mother puts him down? Wanting to stay in her lap, the child begins to tug at her dress, stomp his feet, and finally roll on the ground, crying and screaming just like little ones do. Now, the same mother who was experiencing so much joy only moments ago, that little boy who was a source of joy for her is now a source of displeasure. So if we honestly reflect in solitude on our situation in the world, time and time again, we will find that the happiness that we were experiencing only moments ago has ended. It's over, it's gone. That fleeting happiness, it diminished, it's gone. And now we've started another search in acquisition for something else. So just like a mouse trapped in a running wheel, we have gone around and around and around in search over the course of so many lifetimes, infinite lifetimes, in search of happiness. We've chased that elusive happiness, but to this day, we have not found it. So Sri Maharaj Ji tells us, that we have been running in the wrong direction. The happiness, the fulfillment that we really and truly seek is yo vai bhuma tat sukham. That happiness is infinite, it is unlimited, it is immeasurable, it is never overcome by death and sickness and illness and anything like that. It is ever increasing, everlasting, it is eternal, it is forever. And that is the happiness we really and truly seek. And that call for that happiness comes from deep within us. It comes from our soul. And that is a happiness that we're consistently and relentlessly striving for in our life through any and all endeavors. This is what the scriptures tell us. So it's a fundamental teaching. We aspire for happiness every moment, with our every breath. Yes. And so Sri Maharaj Ji, out of his boundless mercy and compassion for us souls, has revealed his secret recipe to spiritual prosperity. And this recipe has 3 essential ingredients. 3. And what are they? Sri Maharaj Ji once again tells us in the Radha Govind Geet. Naratanu Guru Sangha Govinda Radhe Prema Pipasa Tino Lakshya Dila De Prema Pipasa Tino Lakshya Dila De. So yesterday in my first talk, we reflected on the first 2, Naratanu and Guru Sangha. And in regards to Naratanu, this human life, this human body that we have been granted by God's mercy, Sri Maharaj Ji has emphasized its importance in his divine scripture, Prem Ras Madira. And that pad, Naratanu Baram Bar Milat Nahi Kabahuk Kari Karuna Karuna Kar De Nideha Sansar Milat Nahi उलटो टांगी बांधी मुख गर्भहि समुझाए हूँ जग सार मिलत नहीं दीन ज्ञान जब कीन प्रतिज्ञा भजी हो नंद कुमार मिलत नहीं भूली गयो सो दशा भई पुनि ज्यों रही गर्भ मझार मिलत नहीं यह कृपालु नरतनु सुर दुर्लभ सुमेरी सुमेरी श्याम सरकार मिलत नहीं. So in this divine pad, Sri Maharaj Ji explains that human life is not something that we receive again and again. It is only with the mercy of the merciful God that we receive this rare opportunity to be born as a human in this world. As a baby, one is suspended upside down inside the mother's womb with one's mouth closed, shut. So that one cannot protest. And when this knowledge dawns upon the soul, then he makes a vow that after coming out of the mother's womb, it will only and only worship Sri Krishna. But when it comes out, when we come out of the mother's womb, and we forget the vow that we made. And then what happens? We go back to that same suffering that we were experiencing within the womb of our mother. So Sri Maharaj Ji tells us that this human body is precious, desired by even the celestial gods. And instead of wasting our precious time, we should engage in the loving thoughts and the loving remembrance of God, of Sri Krishna. So, Naratanu, human body, and association with the saint. Let us look upon the third grace. So the third blessing of grace from God has yet to unfold before us. Or perhaps our virtuous actions have not been sufficient for us to attain it. So what is this third grace? What is it? It is known as pipasa, prem pipasa, also known as mumukshutva, translated thirst. Thirst and hunger for knowledge. Yes. So this third grace is thirst and hunger for knowledge. Yes. Consider a person who is very truly hungry and begs for food. Now, when this person is turned away by people, by others, saying, hey, move along, he does not give up. He does not give up. No matter the rejection, he does not give up because his need is urgent and unrelenting. This is the true nature of begging. This is the true nature of begging. Contrast this with someone who pretends to be begging, but is well fed. So when this person who is well fed is turned away by others, he grows resentful, muttering curses and harboring anger, because his begging lacks urgency. And without being driven by hunger, his attempts, they soon fade away. They soon fade away. So this third grace of God, it manifests as an insatiable hunger, a desperate yearning to understand and seek the truth. It is a kind of hunger that propels one to gather as much wisdom as possible, as quickly as possible, just like the looters in chaos. They grab whatever they can as quickly as they can. Yes. So this grace, the thirst for spiritual understanding, is the most vital of all in our spiritual journey. It is most vital. Yes. And if it were fully present within us, we would have realized God by now. God is seated within us, waiting to be recognized. Yes. So the obstacle lies not in God's divine presence. No, it lies in the lack of our faith and awareness. That's where the problem is. That is essentially the obstacle, is that we lack faith and awareness. Yes. So to really know God, all we have to do, Sri Maharaj simplifies it so much for us. All we have to do is just look within with full faith and conviction, knowing that He's already there. He's already there. So this is the third grace. Knowledge. What is knowledge? Upasate purusham ye hyakamah te shukradati vartanti dhiraah. Te shukrametadati vartanti dhiraah. Mundaka Upanishad. understanding that brings forth love for God is called knowledge. So devotional love is proof of knowledge, and vanity and pride are signs of ignorance. Yes. So knowledge itself takes the form of love, where an individual, an aspirant, desires to visualize, to meet God. Yes. If there's no desire or there's no longing, it means there's no knowledge. There's no knowledge. Just as a hungry beggar, when he comes to find out that he can get food free of charge at a nearby monastery, he runs over there. He rushes over there to satisfy his hunger. Yes. In the same way, an individual who has been seeking that inner fulfillment, when he comes to find out that God is all blissful and all compassionate, that worldly happiness is fleeting and ever diminishing, then what happens? It is only natural that he will develop that urge, that longing, that desire to meet and God and receive his divine vision. That is what will happen to him. That is why Goswami Tulsidas Ji has described, Jane binu na hoya paratiti, binu paratiti hoya nahi priti. So Goswami Tulsidas Ji says that knowledge appears as faith. And according to the intensity of that faith, one desires to meet God. And that desire or longing is known as love. Yes. So if there's no longing, no desire, it means there's no knowledge. Yes. Because love for God is proof of understanding, of the depth of one's understanding. Yes. It directly corresponds to knowledge. Now, those of you who are hearing this philosophy for the first time, you may wonder, I've never met a saint. What about me? What about me? Well, let me tell you that you've been found. You have been found. Believe it, accept it. Just look around you. Just look around you. It is not a random thing. Your being here is not a random occurrence. No. You have been led here by grace. There's nothing random about your being here because you've been led here by grace. And there's not a shred of doubt that grace is what brought you here. The causelessly and supremely merciful God, Sri Krishna, out of his boundless compassion, graces the souls and adopts them eternally. To rescue suffering souls like you and I from the formidable grip of Maya. He manifests, he assumes various divine forms, worshiping his own divinity. Worshiping his own divinity. He performs different kinds of divine pastimes and distributing the nectar of divine love. He manifests before us as a guru, worshiping his own divinity to demonstrate the path of divine love realization for souls. Yes. And through this divine act, he encourages, he inspires souls to tread the path of bhakti, devotion, and attain him eternally. Becoming his own devotee, he performs devotion and thereby eradicates the darkness of our ignorance that we have accumulated over the course of infinite lifetimes by bestowing true divine spiritual knowledge. Yes. So Adi Jagadguru Shankaracharya is revered as the descension of Lord Shiva. Adi Jagadguru Nimbarkacharya is recognized as the descension of the Sudarshan Chakra of Sri Krishna. Adi Jagadguru Ramanujacharya is believed to be the descension of Sheshnag. And Sri Krishna himself descended as Adi Jagadguru Madhavacharya to preserve and to propagate bhakti. So all of these divine powers of Sri Krishna descended as saints in Braj Dham, appearing as gurus to delight the souls of souls like you and I. And many, many devotees, they firmly believe that the divine grace of Sri Radha has manifested as Jagadguru Shree Kripaluji Maharaj, our Sri Maharaji. In his divine presence, those fortunate souls who realize the glory of his divinity, of his divine stature, his caliber, Sri Maharaji provides tirelessly that inspiration, that guidance, shows that path of divine love realization and helps the souls to reach their goal of the realization of the divine love of Sri Radha Krishna. And as Sri Maharaji tells us that correct knowledge leads to correct actions, and incorrect knowledge induces wrongful actions. The same thing applies to the path of divine love realization, to the path of God realization. So, if you have found the true path, the authentic path, you can proceed rapidly on your path toward God. But if your path is incorrect, you may spend your entire life treading that path, but to no avail because the path itself is misleading. These days, the effects of Kali Yuga are so vigorously prevalent that thousands of fictitious paths are being propagated and articulated in a fanciful style by the so-called teachers and preachers and sadhus and yogis and gurus and monks and mahants and pontiffs and masters. And simple-hearted, God-fearing people, they fall for such teachers. And they faithfully serve them for their entire life, even though they remain deprived and bereft of any or even a shred of devotional benefit whatsoever. And so to elevate, to uplift deserving souls, the magnificence of God's divine power has descended on this earth in the form of our beloved Sri Maharaji Jagadguru Shree Kripaluji Maharaj, whose knowledge, whose teachings, whose satsangs, whose association shatters the cloud of doubts and confusion and shows the very simple, easy, and effective path toward the realization of Sri Radha Krishna. So now all of this that I have explained to you leads us to one essential question. One, what is it? Circle back to the third grace. What is that? Thirst, hunger. So the question is, how can we develop that thirst and that hunger? How? So the Supreme Lord, who is reluctant to enter the samadhi or the trances of the great self-realized souls, can be seen serving the illiterate villagers in Gokul as their very devout servant. Now, why are these things and countless other extraordinary things in relation to God described in the scriptures? And why are these rarely, if at all, seen in the world today? What is missing? Has anything gone wrong? Is God not listening to us anymore? So Sri Maharaji tells us that the pastimes that are described in the scriptures took place due to the glory of devotion and the indescribable bliss in divine love. That's what Sri Maharaji tells us. And secondly, God is accessible. He's easily accessible to the one who has a longing heart for him, who has an intensely longing heart for him. And the analogy given in the scriptures is to be as restless for God as a fish out of water. Jalheen meen jaise Govind Radhe talfu mein tere bin aisi bana de talfu mein tere bin aisi bana de. So the greater our longing to meet God, the closer he comes to us. God has done his part. by giving us birth in this human body. And the association of a saint, our guru, our spiritual guide, our acharya, he has done his part. Our guru has done his part by giving us knowledge, and he will continue to give us knowledge, and he will tirelessly serve us. He will hold our hand. He will do anything it takes to elevate us, to take us to Radha Krishna. So our Guru has done his part, and he will continue to do his part, and has inspired us from within, to attach our heart and mind to Radha Krishna and detach our heart and mind from the world. He has done all of this. Despite that, he will continue. What remains to be done is our job. Our job. And what is that job? We have to nurture that longing, that thirst. That is our job. That yearning is our doing. That is something that we have to work on. We have to do it. Because God is not going to do it. Sri Maharaj is not going to do it for us. That is something that we have to do for ourselves. Yes. So achieving an audience with God is not that difficult. If you become so restless that this life, in other words, we become so restless for one that this life becomes more miserable than death. Every day in our mornings devotions, we repeat this line, He Nath, ab bahut ho chuka, ab to tumhare prem ke bina yah जीवन मृत्यु से भी अधिक भयानक है. O my soul, beloved Krishna, now it has come to the utmost. This life without your love is worse than death. Yes. So the first step is faith, because faith gives rise to love. Faith leads to love. Yes. And for a true lover of God always remains in that intense feeling of longing and love for God that ultimately culminates in the realization of God's divine vision, unity with God. Yes. Sri Maharaj Ji has described that once there was a fakir who prayed so much that his knees were aching from offering prayers day and night. So once another fakir came to him and asked him, "Have you met God yet?" "Brother, no, I have not." "But tell me, have you?" And the second fakir said, "Yes, I meet him every day." Delighted, the first fakir said, "Please do me a favor and ask God if he has liked any of my prayers." So he said, "Sure, I will tell you tomorrow." So when he came the following day, he told the first fakir that God has not liked a single prayer of yours. And hearing these words, the first fakir, he leapt to his feet and danced in euphoria. So the second fakir, he was astonished. He was astonished. Yes. And far from being disheartened, the first fakir, his elation was so intense that he fell to the floor in a swoon. Upon returning to normality, the second fakir, who was eager to know the reason for his jubilance, so the first fakir told him that when you told me that God did not like any of my prayers, it only means that he has seen all my prayers. He has seen all my prayers. And me, the wretched sinner, I'm so undeserving and so unworthy, and yet he has his gaze on me. How fortunate I am. So in this way, this fakir, he developed faith and love, and therefore intense longing. Dear devotees, let us get on with intensifying our faith. For our divine beloved, so that one day, with the grace of Sri Maharaj Ji, we can see them just as we see one another. Just as we see one another. Yes. We have the greatest power in our life. We have the ultimate blessings and the ultimate divine knowledge, the ultimate teachings. We have so much. All we have to do is imbibe and imbibe and imbibe and imbibe. And Sri Radha Madhav Dham is here for that reason, so that all of you can just come and imbibe Sri Maharaj's grace. Just take and take and take and take. I know all of you will be leaving in a couple of days, but I urge you all to please take back with you all the devotional treasures and all of the devotional blessings and everything that you have gained here back with you. And utilize it, let it grow more, intensify it, and then come back to Radha Madhav Dham and take more and more each time you come. That's why it's here. It's Sri Maharaj's grace, Sri Maharaj's blessings are permeating every part of Radha Madhav Dham. So Radha Madhav Dham is here at your service. It's here to serve you. It's here to elevate you. It's here to pacify you. This is your soul. So this is all I want to say. And I'm so happy that you all are here. And we have the next couple of days of real, full, intense sadhana in the form of the kirtan. Tomorrow is 18 hours. And then there's more on the New Year's Day on January 1st. So we have so much to look forward to and so much to gain. So let us get all excited and really prepare ourselves internally and really try to gain as much as we can. Shrimad Sadguru Sarkar ki, Shrimad Yugal Sarkar ki, Pyari Pyari Amma ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.